and you're welcome to Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the Hangout, Petroleum Minister Ibe Kachuku calls on the federal government to dialogue with Niger Delta militants. Fuel scarcity looms as oil workers prepare to embark on strike. Oil marketers lament poor access to Forex. So if you're ready, let the Hangout start now. It's now clear that Niger Delta militants are keen on grounding the Nigeria economy. Oil installations have been blown up lately, and the federal government is counting the costs. To quieten the noise in the region, the government recently considered the application of brutal force using military to hunt down militants and bring them to justice. Few hours ago, the military declared a total war on them. But critics say this approach will only escalate the problem. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, has also echoed a similar concern. He called on the federal government to dialogue with the militants. But will President Buhari consider this option? Babajide Otitoju is in the house today. Jide, how are you?
I'm fine.
And I also have my friend, Wahid Bakari. Wahid?
It's my pleasure to be here. Good evening, viewers.
And Olayinka Oyegbile.
It's nice to be here again.
Yinka, where's your Panama?
I decided to do away with it for today.
It's quite strange to see you like this. I can see the stadium.
Penalty spot.
Penalty spot.
When I came in, I never knew what
That's all Yinka Oyegbile. Well, let's start. After that amnesty program, the amnesty program that former president, late President Umaru Yar'Adua scored, a very, very high point by, settling the agitation of the Niger Delta militants. They came out, there was an amnesty program, and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was able to consolidate on it. So for some time, we had like the situation
calm down.
It was calm, and as at that time, we started our 2 million, 1.8 million, 2.2 million barrel every day. So all businesses and everything. But right now, this Niger Delta Avengers, this group of young men, and they've been striking. There's something the American would call precision guarded, strikes. They've gone from the one they did in Delta State down to the one
in
Bayelsa, and they've always, been striking to precision. And if they continue this way, I'm afraid that they're going to ground oil exploration, oil activities in the Niger Delta to, a sudden halt. Jide?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that they are hitting Nigeria where it really hurts. Let's not forget that after the country decided to negotiate with militants in 2009, the Nigerian economy began to really grow, and we became one of the fastest growing economies in the world. We overthrew South Africa as the #1 in Africa when it comes to foreign direct investment. The economy was growing so consistently that at the beginning of the year 2015, CNN projected that the Nigerian economy and the Chinese economy would be two of the fastest growing in the world. Then later we started having the problem of oil prices going down, crashing in the international market. So the foundation that I thought to be nice for me to lay is the fact that after we negotiated with these guys and sustained oil production, our oil output improved significantly. You know that it was the crisis that allowed Angola to overtake us. But now, to become the #1 in Africa. But after we made peace with these guys, and they turned in their weapons, and we had peace in that region. Oil output went up, and the economy began to really improve. The fundamentals of the Nigerian economy became really strong. And you could look at Nigeria and say, yes, the economy was headed in the right direction. But at this time, no one can say the economy is headed in the right direction, except if that person is extremely dishonest or does not even know what he's doing. Because everything points to the fact that this is an economy that is struggling. And our government that in the past didn't want to tell us the truth, we can see now that
The fallout.
we are not even goading them sufficiently before they tell us the truth now. You saw what happened last week? The minister said, look, let's tell ourselves the truth. Because we can't find Forex. That is why we threw this open. We decided to liberalize oil, importation of refined fuel, because we, as a government, can't find enough Forex to embark on this course of action. Now, we are doing badly on the side of the economy, and we have a people in the Niger Delta who have made up their minds to bring the government to its knees. So the question is, what is the right approach to solving this problem? Many people, when they get emotional, they talk about the army, oh, it's the military option, this and that. Kachiku knows now that if things continue this way, he's already seeing what will happen in the next 2 months. If these attacks are sustained, foreign oil workers will leave Nigeria.
Yes.
Oil output will go further down. We are doing 1.4 now, out of which about 400,000 is condensate.
And we projected
2.2 analyze that, and we projected 2.2 in the budget.
Budget.
In a budget that that already we
over
are finding
3
it
trillion
difficult
deficits.
to find the cash to even to run that
finance
budget,
the
to finance the budget. We are finding it extremely difficult. Now this is happening to us. If we do not sell oil, we are in trouble. Even now, we are not getting enough from selling it. And these boys are reducing our capacity to make money from selling fuel. That is not all. Most of Nigeria's power stations these days are gas powered.
Yes.
In the past when we had Shiroro, Kainja, and the rest of them, we didn't really need gas. But this is the era of gas turbines. Now these boys are sabotaging our gas pipelines and ensuring. That's
why electricity have been,
It's a problem now because the gas supply is not there because of this consistent sabotage. So the issue is, what do we do? Do we continue to think, oh, let's use military approach? Ayo, go and read this, the account, the story that the papers carried today about Oloni Shakin. Even when he boasted that we are ready to crush them, he said somewhere that, look, it is not every time that the military approach works. So even your chief of defense staff, the head of the military in Nigeria, is already thinking along that line that, look, we might just need to pursue other strategies rather than just relying on force. So maybe as we go on, we can talk about why force may not be desirable at this point.
Wahid, when you look at the terrain, you will agree with me that even for Nigerian army to operate in Sambisa Forest, it is now that they are adapting to that particular terrain and that. But we are talking about the Niger Delta now, where you have the creeks all around, and these guys understand the topography of this place. A military option might not get the desired results.
Of course, there's no doubt about that. I've been opportune to be there once when I was a reporter, in Warri. We went for an event, and you need to see the terrain. If you are not, in fact, before we left Warri, we had to get signal before you can proceed. For you to come over there. That's why the fact that what you are going there to do is a legitimate thing. You still have to get clearance before you can get there. We are talking of people who are born and brought up in that area. They know the terrain very well. So you can't just send your army to amount to a suicide mission. If you are sending people to that place, they will just waste them because they are used to the terrain. They know where to hide. They know all the nook and cranny. You will be surprised that there are so many bends on on the water. By the time you go there, you will be amazed. So I think we even got to a place where somebody pointed to Camp 5 to us that is where Camp 5. We are about few meters to that place. So I cannot imagine if you are not familiar with that terrain, how will you now say you want to go there and fight them? And unfortunately for us, we operate the kind of economy that largely depend on oil. You know, so if you are saying you want to use force, of course, there's no way you can win it. And if you remember what Chief Edwin Clark said, he said, force will not work in this situation. Let us talk to these people. Let's find out from them. I've seen some of their demands, and there's no doubt about it that there are some that are unreasonable. But the ones that are reasonable among that, because I think...
Even to get them on the table, to dialogue with them before even talking.
Yes, government can make use of stakeholders in that region
to look for them.
They can bring in somebody like E.K. Clark, bring in some of the ex-militants, bring them on board so that they can talk to once they have people that they can trust among those they are going to negotiate with. I'm very sure they will come out of wherever they are hiding and talk to the government. I think military option will not work in this kind of situation.
Must we always go through this route?
See, I think it is a wild circle and it's a catch-22 situation. Do we use force or do we negotiate? Now, are we sure we know who these militants are? Because when you look at it, all the Tompolos, the Asari Dokubos, and the rest of them are all distancing themselves from the Avengers. So who are we going to deal with? The situation I've seen here is that even if you dialogue with the present leadership of the Avengers and you calm them down, in another 4 years, another group will rise up again and we'll be back to the same circle. What we have succeeded in doing, in my own view, with the first
set of militants
is that some key people have been made millionaires and billionaires. They are comfortable now. So they are foot soldiers, some of their foot soldiers, who saw what has happened to their bosses are now saying that, oh, we've learned the ropes. We can also come out to fight now. So the foot soldiers of yesterday are now the masters today. So the masters of today will become masters tomorrow, and the foot soldiers of today will become masters. So in essence, what has happened here is what Yoruba call kokobe. They have seen this as their own pot of soup. That, look, if you want to get rich, you must be a militant. So our guys have got their own share. This is our own time. So how do you now draw a line? Because I can assure you that if we identify the leaders now and negotiate with them, down the road, another 4 or 5 years, another group will rise up again and do the same thing. Then we'll begin
going around.
It's a wild circle. That is not to say we should not negotiate. So that's why I call it the catch-22 situation. Whether you do it or you don't do it, how do we move on?
Jide, I noticed something when I went to Bayelsa and River States. I discovered that in spite of the amnesty program, in spite of the federal government, the government of Yar'Adua and Goodluck Jonathan empowering these people, we don't have physical developments. What's the Francis Adakaboros of this world, the Kensaruas of this world, what they were fighting for, as in wholesale development of the Niger Delta. They just succeeded in looking for the generals, the arrowheads, made them rich, And those ones that are living large, they have mansions in Lagos, in Abuja, but there's no trickling effect in the environment. Nobody has done anything about the Niger Delta environment, Jide.
Yeah, but the reality is what is happening today is not a response to that neglect. This problem is largely political. It's largely political, and that was why I said some time ago that President Buhari took on Tompolo too early, and I've had people criticize me and all that. And last week, we had an interview with, I think, one of the leaders of the Ijo youths in Abuja, who said, look, this whole thing, Tompolo is behind it.
In spite of the denial of the
abusers, Tompolo is behind it. Let's not deceive ourselves. You know, I have no doubt that Tompolo and others who are pretending not to know these boys, who are pretending,
the boys are
not to
even
be
threatened
involved,
to take the battle to them, you know, in their press statement to exonerate them.
But I can tell you
stylishly,
not all Nigerians are fooled. Look at the person who called us on this program 2 weeks ago, who said, Jide, you were right when you said that the president took on Tompolo too early. That the moment it became clear that Tompolo would be put on trial, they started recruiting people in Bayelsa. So the opinion that these people have formed is that this government hates them. The Buhari government does not like the Niger Delta, is prepared to crush the Niger Delta, especially after he said, look, I'm going to wind down the amnesty program. Now, what do? What they want to do is, okay, you are going after our people. Akpobolo, Kemi, and the rest of them, you are trying them. Our people are your target. Okay, we will bring down your regime. We will make it difficult for you to succeed. And I reminded Nigerians of what the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, said when people asked that, how did you stop the vandalization or vandalism of pipelines in the Niger Delta? And he said, we engage the communities. That means, at that point, the people made up their minds that, look, let us support this new government and stop this unnecessary destruction of pipelines. And we started enjoying light. And people said this is the change that they wanted. Now we've gone back. The same people have gone back to breaking pipelines. What is the government doing? Shouldn't the government return now to engaging those community leaders, as the Vice President told us? Because I was shocked that even at the height of the Jonathan regime, pipelines were being destroyed. Because there was significant progress made in the area of power generation. But pipelines were being destroyed. But suddenly it stopped. And then the fruits of those years of investment in that sector, we began to enjoy it in the first few months of the Buhari regime. People were even snapping pictures of water or their soft drinks, you know, being congealed in their refrigerators. But that is not happening now. People are not enjoying life. The boys have returned to now deliberately and willfully sabotaging the government because they think that this is a government that hates them. Tompolo lives like a god. The army said they had arrested some people that were being used to destroy pipelines. But residents of the community told them that, look, these are oil workers, and they had their tax. Invariably, those guys were released because they were not bombers. So, for me, I enjoy the military when they get to work. I'm somebody who enjoys reading military literature. But the reality is, can military solutions solve this problem? I'm happy that even the Chief of Defense Staff can see that, and they say, look, it's not all the time that the military option works. I'm happy that Kachiku can see that now. I'm happy that the UK envoy warned us that the people who are carrying out these attacks are not many. If they were in their thousands or hundreds, military option will be very, very effective. But when you are dealing with people who are probably not more than 20, They just identify there are pipelines all over the Niger Delta. You even see kids running on top of pipelines.
Strategic
you know,
ones.
and they know these pipelines. They know this is the one
that does this. That
all
supplies
the export Nigeria's export terminals are well known to Niger Delta militants. If they want to stop the export of Nigeria's crude, they can do it. For me, I do not sufficiently trust the military to put an end to this. I remember Fashola when somebody asked him that, look, why haven't you banned Okada outright in Lagos? He said, I will only ban Okada if I'm sure of the enforcement. And this is the same way that I think. I will only support the military option if I'm convinced that it will deliver the result that we want. You know? I believe that these boys are just like Boko Haram. That's the treatment that they should get. But I'm not certain that a military approach, because we are even talking about an area, you've been there, you know how inaccessible the creeks are. I'm not certain that we can deal a decisive blow on people who are not many. You don't even see them.
No, what do you say?
You don't see them. So how do you face them?
Immediately you enter the creek and we know they disappear.
They into
of course, we don't understand where they've gone. Why, when you look at this situation now, towards the end of the last administration, former President Goodluck Jonathan actually employed those boys, you know, all these people. Okay, let me quickly take this call. Lizzie is calling us from Bayelsa State. Thank you for hanging out with us, Lizzie.
AB.
Not Lizzie, AB.
AB.
It's a regular caller.
Ayo.
Yes, AB.
Yes, you. Well done.
Yeah.
I've been a regular contributor in this program.
Okay.
And I can even see that Papa Julius.
Thank you for keeping faith.
Yes.
Yeah. The last time I called on, we talked about Niger Delta. I said something about NDDC, but because it ended my call, I could not complete it. That the NDDC, they are involved. That is the solution to this problem. I'm just trying to profile because a lot of people are listening into this program. Okay. The NDDC itself, they have so many just contracts that local governments should have been the one taking care of. That they are not. They should concentrate on major projects. I said it somewhat last week, I think so, Friday. They should concentrate on electricity, road, and maybe if you want to go to the scale, you could use the scale of reference and add concrete roads in the communities. That is one. Let me not talk much about that. Then the second thing, the governors or the politicians in each of the states. Some people used to say, why is it that these militants are not going after their governors that are misusing the 13% derivation? Actually, it's not possible that they will go and fight their own brothers, their own sisters, their uncles. But what they should do is that the constitution, they should change somewhere in the constitution that will help the 13% to go to do the real things. Maybe the 13% derivation money should go directly to the companies. Let the government list important items that will be carried out in the state. Then these items should be forwarded to the federal government.
Okay, Obi. Thank you, Obi. You don't have all the time, but thank you for your contribution, and we've noted your intervention. What he said, all this interventionist agency, the NDDC, what are we talking about?
Ministry of Niger Delta. They even have local ones, like in Delta
State, Desopadec. Apparently, they've not succeeded. The quantum of billions that has been sunk into NDDC, the Ministry of Niger Delta, since inception, they've made billionaires, but they've not been able to impact on the environment.
Yes, that is largely because of corruption, you know, that we have in Nigeria. You know, a lot of the government will put their hand to make sure that it's Niger Delta that will occupy that position. Of course, a lot of interventionist agencies, you know, have been put in place. I know of a man when he was appointed as one of the agencies, one of the state. I won't mention the state. If you go to his house in the morning, you need to see the crowd of people that are there. And the man keeps complaining, these people, they are not here to support me. They are not here to give me ideas of what to do. They are just here to make money. They want contracts. And once they mobilize them, they don't do the contract again. And I think I will also blame the last administration for some of these things. Even if you go ahead to do some of those things that are necessary, to develop the Niger Delta. What the majority of them saw in last administration, we still make them to come back again. Because you are talking about a situation whereby you expose so many militants to a lot of money, and they became overnight billionaires. They were building mansions, buying houses,
universities abroad,
doing so many things. To the extent that, if there are some of them, if you go to their houses, they have houses maybe in Abuja, in Warri. You will be amazed the kind of exotic cars that you see there. I was told of a guy that whenever he wants to change the tire of his car, he spends about 20 million naira or more than that just to change tire of cars, because of the fact that some of them will have been there, because of the fact that some of them will have been there for a very long time. They were not driven, and because of the fact that some of them are so sensitive. If you live there for a long time, you will be asked to just change the whole tire, that you can't drive them like that. And they were there. So perhaps the majority of them they never envisaged that a day like this will come. Perhaps some of them did not save for the raining day. Whatever they were getting, they were just spending on women, spending on, flying all over the world. So even if you still go ahead to develop the Niger Delta, because of the fact that what they saw some of their leaders, I also remember that when the amnesty program was going on, there were series of protests during that period, whereby they accused their leaders of not paying them. There are situations whereby they were asked to be given 50,000 naira, but at the end of the day, they get 20, or less, and the rest will go to the pockets of some people, and they know those people that embezzle their money. So I don't think that will solve the problem.
Tunde is calling us from Lagos State.
Hello.
Hello, Tunde.
Hello, my name is Tunde.
Okay, Tunde, you're on. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, I think I need to let you people know over there that far from some of those things you're saying. Now, 2007, I was in Bayelsa. Yeah. I had a job I was doing in Bayelsa. And as at that time, it was on Jonathan's 100 days in office. I went to Oloibiri. And you will not believe it, as at that time, whoever is there, let them confirm. As at that time, there was no salon in Oloibiri. There was no salon in Oloibiri. That's to tell you how bad it was. Now, it is not just about the government. I think the government should go close to the people and sensitize them. See, in Port Harcourt, I am very used to the South. Now, when you go close to them, even up till now, I have friends that I put calls through. Do you know what they tell you about the bombing? Now we get the pipeline. Now we get them. Now our team. Now we the bomb them. They're not denying it. The government should go close to them and talk to, and see. It goes beyond just dialoguing. They need to reorientate them. They need to, do I say reconfigure their brains?
Thank you, Tunde. Tunde wants their brains to be reconfigured.
It has become a vehicle engine or something.
or a system. But in all this, I mean, we are looking at the short-time, medium, and long-time solutions to this. Jide, what can we do right now that can first of all stop the destruction in that region?
Well, the best thing to do is to identify the group behind this. We can identify the group by merely issuing threats and all that. I think I was reading Alhaji Lai Mohammed, so he said government is prepared to dialogue with them. So as you are issuing threats, make concrete efforts to at least
move
using their leaders. There are people that they will respect.
They will listen to.
Yes,
yeah,
the likes of Ike Clark and all these
other people. Talk to them. That let these boys even stay action for some time, and let us see what will result from it. I believe that even some of the demands that they have made, just as Wahid said, some of those demands are realizable. So you
And
can
some they
actually
just made
start-
it for negotiation sake.
No, yes, just for politics. You know that some politicians are using them. Now you start with that, and then you begin to talk. Nigeria, the federal government got ASU to return to work in 2014. But some of those
They never
demands
attended to
have
their
not been
demand,
met.
and
so
ASU is
since
at
we are
it
saying
again.
how do we solve this problem, open a line of communication with them after they invite them and let them know that okay, you are disposed to negotiating with them. That negotiation, we don't know when it will end. We don't know where it will take us to. But try to even negotiate.
Open that channel.
The Americans always say that we shall never fail to negotiate, but we shall never negotiate to fail.
All right, still on the oil sector. On May the 16th, 2016, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to address critical national issues or face a total shutdown of the oil and gas sector. Some of its demand bordered on the national security, the reversal of electricity tariff hike, repair of roads, ending the crude oil thefts, pipeline vandalism, and ensuring regular supply of crude to state-owned refineries, among others. This ultimatum expired today. Can Nigeria afford to see its oil workers go on strike again? Ika?
Definitely we can't. It is a terrible thing, and you see, the two things we are discussing today are the jugular of the nation's economy. And whichever way we look at it, there is none that we should allow to happen. If the PENGASSAN goes on strike, then the economy is finished. In living memory, all industrial actions that have ever been embarked upon in Nigeria, I think it was during the Abacha time that PENGASSAN really played a very prominent role.
That June 12.
Exactly, which paralyzed the whole economy. And we know what that means. And at this point, when our foreign earnings is at the lowest ebb, we cannot afford to have that kind of a strike again. What the government needs to do is to look at what are the demands, what is it that these people want. In the short term, let us begin to say, okay, this is what you want. This is what we can achieve in the short term. The long term, we are going to work on it. Because when you look at it, it is a case of whatever they are demanding for, if it is achieved, it will also earn more revenue for the government, and it will make the government able to fulfill its campaign promises and responsibilities. So what the government needs to do is also to call them into a round table and discuss with them. Look, all your demands, this and this and this, maybe you pick 2, 3 out of it that this is the one that we can meet with immediate in the immediate term. But these and these ones, let us look at how we are going to arrive at the middle road and how to achieve what you want. I think that's the best way to go, because I don't think allowing them to go on strike at this time is of any usefulness to anybody.
Wahid, they are talking about the power sector. They want that tariff to be reversed. The February 1 electricity tariff that was increased. They're talking about the bad roads. And I want to say in 7 days, it's not possible to achieve. They are talking about unemployment and redundancy. They are talking about joint venture funding. They are also looking at the petroleum industry bill. They are talking about the anti-corruption war. They are talking about a whole lot of other indefinite suspension of petroleum price modulation. But when you look at this, when NLC went on strike, a lot of things went wrong. And labor was divided and everything. But there are some critical unions talking about NUPENG and PENGASSAN. Anytime the tanker drivers, anytime they want to start their problem, when they go on strike, in the next 6 hours, it will have a kind of ricochet effects across, you know. And NUPENG, PENGASSAN, these guys are in charge of our, you know, crude oil exportation, crude oil mining and everything. If they dare go on strike for a day, your guess is as good as mine. But what they are asking for is almost not realistic right now. Power, bad roads, unemployment.
There are some of them that the government can meet with immediate effect if they are serious about it. There are some that you need to take certain steps. Once those steps are taken and there is level of trust, you can say, okay, we are sure they will do it. For instance, the hike in tariff of electricity, is it difficult to do? It's not difficult to do. You can't ask people to be paying for what they are not using.
Yes.
I said it on this program that is why somebody, you know, jokingly said ours is the most expensive darkness in the whole world. How can you ask people to be paying?
That's one of the reasons that I'm not even happy that labor strike wasn't effective.
Now let me,
because part of their demand was the reversal of this electricity
Let me tell you
bill.
in my own case, what I did was that for 2 months, I deliberately refused to pay electricity bill. It was deliberate. I said I won't pay. Because I cannot imagine, when I look at the amount of money that I was spending, you know, in fueling my generator, and I look at it, each time I go to the filling station, I spend between 7,000–8,000 naira. You know, by the time you buy for your car, you buy for, and at the end of the day, they still brought bill. And I look at it, I said, in a month, we hardly enjoyed this light for up to 5, 6, 7
hours.
You can easily count the number of hours. So that one is not difficult for them to do. They can reverse it. Of course, if there is improvement in the electricity supply, I'm very sure people will be willing to pay.
Yeah.
People will be
Just
willing
like
to pay.
the fuel thing, that people are willing to pay more.
People
As
will
long
pay.
as it's
People will
available.
pay. It's not as if Nigerians.
If it's effective,
Of course, it's
you
not
buy
as
it
if
as if you are buying a recharge card.
Of course, it's not as if Nigerians are as bad as that. They will pay. A lot of artisans, you know, they depend on electricity to make their money. There are so many daily income earners. Once there is no electricity, you know, there's
even better to pay for electricity than to
buy
buy
there's nothing they can
gas
do.
in your
so
generator.
those ones they can. There are some that they can. Or if you are talking about repair of roads, of course, we know that they can't do that overnight. But at least
if
if you
tell
make
them
effort,
your plan of action,
tell them your action, tell them how you intend to do it. Mobilize people. Let them see that you have mobilized.
Budget, they've
Let them see that
200 billion.
Let them see that you have mobilized. You have mobilized contractors to start working on those. Of course, they will know that okay, steps are being taken. It's just a matter of okay, we can trust them that they will do this thing because of certain steps they have taken. Also, those things that require urgent attention, they should do it because we cannot afford to have another strike with the present situation of things in the Niger Delta. Because of the fact that, and this is a lesson for the incoming government, even for this government, this is the time for us to be serious with diversification of the economy. Yeah. You can imagine a situation whereby if it were to be maybe what we get to fund our economy is just 15 or 20% from oil. You know, you have other sectors. You can afford to say you want to call the bluff of the Niger militants, you know, because you have other sectors that can bring in money. But we are talking of a situation whereby it is only one product that can bring money for us. So the government has no choice. They have to. And Nigeria won't take any excuse again from Buhari administration. They won't take any excuse. Whether it's because of Niger Delta militant, that's why I cannot deliver my promises. Nobody cares.
They just want results.
They want results. They have played their part by bringing him Buhari with the hope that he's going to give us the change he promised. So how he does it is his business. We have done our own part by saying, okay, we don't want Jonathan. Let's try another person. We have tried another person, and that person should deliver. He has no choice but to go ahead and do what he promised Nigerians.
Jide, what do you make of this threat?
I don't know where PENGASSAN is coming from with this ridiculous threat. And PENGASSAN doesn't go on strike, but they issue strike threat more than any group that I'm aware of. Every time PENGASSAN will come up with a threat, oh, we will go on strike, oh, we will go on strike, oh, you know, trashing around like a baby whose candy was taken off him. So I really don't, because some of these things that they've listed, you know that these are not realizable even in a short time. Some of these are long term. So what are you talking about? PENGASSAN was here in Nigeria when successive governments, beginning with Obasanjo regime, refused to build new refineries. PENGASSAN were alive when they saw the Saudi government in 2014 build 2 new refineries that would deliver 400,000 barrels a day each.
We're making money from
and you saw this, you didn't issue a threat that if you did not see any serious sign that you will go on strike. That didn't happen. Labour wanted to go on strike because of this electricity tariff. You pulled out of the strike. You didn't even look at the fact that, okay, that was one of the demands. And now you come up with your own, no, come off it. You stop this nonsense. You come up with your own threat. What do they think of themselves? People have told me that they refuse to let the NSC strike succeed because a lot of them have depots. A lot of them have filling stations, so they think that this deregulation regime will favor them. A lot of the PENGASSAN staff are these NNPC members who have depot and who are collecting hefty bribes from people before you can get a ticket to go and load the product. So we are not surprised. Any PENGASSAN staff who is not, you are not refining a liter of petrol, you should be ashamed of yourself that you are occupying that position. Because that is the situation that we found ourselves. We continue to import to make the economies of other countries better. But here we are, our PENGASSAN, what have they done? You are talking about roads. What's their business with construction of roads? There's enough problem in that sector for them to talk about. Talking about employment.
Adamu is calling us from Benue State. Thank you for joining us, Adamu. Hello, Adamu.
Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Adamu.
How is the work today?
Very well, thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead with your contribution.
It's nice hanging with real professional journalism. Not professional journalism, not professional journalism indeed.
Thank you, Adamu.
Concerning PENGASSAN, these people, I don't know whether this time around they want to connive with them to increase the level of sabotage to this government. Already, Niger Delta Avengers, they caused a lot of trouble that are giving us problem here and there concerning salaries. The barrel that are taken to international market keep reducing. State can't pay their salaries anymore. And we need to understand that the entire salary issues depend on this crude oil that they are exporting. If they join this strike, we know that they are losing this before NLC and TUC. They only want a better chance to now promote themselves. The little sympathy we're having on them as our Niger Delta Avengers are attacking them, that sympathy will go away. So they should not dare do this. Babajide said it all with Wahid. But then they should not at our end. People are not ready for all this nonsense. They should sympathize with what is happening with the economy so that we can see how we can bring the nation. It's because of the trust that we're having in Why. That's why people keep being patient. But if not for the trust, then they will see what happened in no time. So people will not even support their strike 7 days. They should go away, please.
Thank you, Adamu. Thank you, Adamu. I have the communique from the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association here, and it was signed by Comrade Francis O. Johnson, that's their president, and Comrade Lumumba Okugbawa, that's their acting Secretary General, where they were making these demands, talking about national security, power, bad roads, unemployment, joint venture funding, petroleum industry bill.
They want Tinubu to come and beg them to.
It beats me because.
Or maybe this time.
I don't know because I don't know what they are.
They are giving this 7-day ultimatum, and that ultimatum ended today. So from tomorrow, let's see what PENGASSAN will do.
Now you are not paid it for free. They are not going to do anything.
We hope so. We hope so that these people will be reasonable enough to look at the fact that the federal government is trying their possible best in fixing all these things, bad roads and everything. They just signed the 2016 budget. So after this break, oil marketers decry poor access to Forex. Please stay with us. It's still Journalist Hangout. Welcome back. There are indications that all is not well with the depot and petroleum product marketers in assessing foreign exchange. Newspaper reports say there are cargoes of diesel and petrol abroad waiting for oil marketers to import, but they lack the foreign exchange to pay them. Today, some petrol stations do not have stock, and this might just be the sign of a looming scarcity. This afternoon, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, that's IPMAN, said it will soon flood the market with fuel as it has got credit line from foreign investors to access foreign exchange to import petroleum products into the country. The association condemned the call to source foreign exchange from secondary markets. Is the federal government strategy working? Jide, I don't understand this Forex palaver. I thought the federal government was going to oblige these people, to give them Forex, enough Forex to be able to bring in their products.
Since Alhaji Lai Mohammed and the other people are in the telling the truth mode now, we've been told clearly that we are broke. So we can't give what we don't have. You want them to give them Forex. The government has use for Forex. The government itself has use for Forex. So why should they give what
available one?
Yes, why should they give what it has? Not in sufficient quantity to other people. Alhaji Lai Mohammed has confessed to us as a nation that we are broke. It is because we could not find Forex to import refined petrol that we have decided to throw it open for anybody that has money.
Go and bring it. Anyway, you're keeping
it
out.
Look, in all my adult years as a Nigerian, I've never seen that level of confession. It is the most sobering confession that I've ever had made by a Nigerian official.
Not the normal government
from a person that many Nigerians have demonized as a liar. He confessed to us that, look, we are broke. This is the situation. And I'm really, really impressed. Now Nigerians know that this is the situation that their country has found itself. We are extremely broke, like a church rat. We are broke. That is a fact. Now, the marketers are saying that it is wrong to say that they should go and get Forex in the secondary market because that is extremely expensive. If they go to the secondary market to source for Forex,
are they talking about these parallel markets?
Yes, that's what we call
secondary market.
They bring in products. How much are they going to sell it? How much are they going to sell it?
And sometimes always gets Forex.
Sometime last week, it came up to like 400 naira, 400 naira to $1. Fuel that you import at that rate. In fact, the volatility of the foreign exchange market in Nigeria will make it
trying to bring your product in.
Will make it dangerous. Look, if you go to South Africa, the currency has remained stable for many years. The currency has remained stable. And even gold and diamond that South Africans sell, that the mainstay of the South African economy, in the international market, it doesn't suffer the kind of volatility that oil suffers.
Yeah.
Gold remains constant.
Constant.
So they can plan. The currency remains the same. When you ask those foreign airlines, why is it that the flight from Ghana to UK is cheaper than flight from Nigeria to UK? They will tell you that the foreign exchange volatility
So it's better,
a factor.
It's better for you to go to Ghana to fly to UK
most of them
or any part of the world than
it's cheaper. We wanted to force them, we issued threats, but it didn't work because they are saying that the Forex volatility here, the exchange rate, the exchange rate volatility here is a factor. What they sell it in the morning is not what they will sell it in the afternoon. You know now, as someone who travels. So does it happen elsewhere?
No.
If in South Africa, you go there in the morning, you go to the Bureau de Change, and it is 6.9 to $1, that is what you will get it in the night.
Now,
Tomorrow, go there, it is the same
it's
thing.
the same thing.
So what we have this problem. I fear is that we are going to suffer another round of scarcity if this problem is not solved. We are not seeing people now, long queues now because a lot of people can't afford it. It's not as if there is product availability. No.
Some don't have
There
at
are
all.
some filling stations that do not have.
Some don't have at all.
Some don't. There's a filling station directly behind my house. They've not had petrol for more than 2 weeks. And that's a filling station that believes in profiteering. They cheat us a lot, but they don't have.
they would have adjusted that tank.
No.
A long time. Wahid.
I won't even recommend it to an enemy.
Wahid, what's the situation way out of this? Because if care is not taken, we might be faced with another round of fuel scarcity. And if that is going to happen, in spite of the fact it's bad enough that I'm buying for 140.
145.
145. And somebody will now tell me that I will have to go through hell to get for 145 per liter.
Well, when the group, these independent marketers, when they met with Ed Joshun, the finance minister, I think she has assured them that the government is going to do something in that respect, because we hope that government will be able to do something. Because you know that the aim of every businessman is to make profit. Yeah. So if they are now sourcing for their dollars at the rate of 400 to Naira,
how much are they going to
how much
sell?
are they going to sell? Because in the past, I think they were enjoying credit facilities from the banks, but the banks have answered and said, no, we don't want to take the risk.
That is the problem.
We don't want to take the risk. That is what has exposed most of the marketers now. They can't get credit from any bank. I mean, it's a bad situation. It's tough, really. It's very tough. It's very tough, we must admit. And I think
there are cargoes on the high sea.
On the high sea, but no money, no money to bring them in.
You see, what I don't understand is when government said this, it gave them that on the other market they will get it for 253 or so. Is it government that would tell the malam that is doing exchange that okay, this man wants to use it to import fuel, so sell it to him at 253, and Olayinka wants to use it for another thing, sell it. So how can you dictate?
They're also in business to make money.
Exactly.
I think what government tries to do is that there are some of these oil companies that do both upstream and downstream.
Yes. This international oil company.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought they even made a commitment that they were going to sell
but for those of them who have both upstream and downstream, what they do is that, for instance, now Mobil, since they have both upstream and downstream, so they will go to their upstream, they will buy dollar at that rate.
Okay.
At that exchange rate that government gives. But for those who don't have downstream, like the Shell, the Chevron, what government plans to do, but I don't know whether it is working, is that okay, we are going to look for serious marketers. Let's pair them with you, so that they can buy this dollar at this rate. At this normal rate.
No,
I'm not sure.
We are not. I'm waiting to know how much we are going to use. The state and federal government will share for the month of
in terms of the
April revenue. I'm waiting to see how much.
I'm not quite
God, we are really broke. We are really broke.
No, it's going to be, you know.
Because somebody was suggesting that at the rate it is going, that even the president will not be able to travel the way he travels.
Well, the best thing we can do is to continue to see that light at the end of the tunnel. That
We remain hopeful.
we're hopeful in the midst of.
We keep talking like the Christians.
No,
Whereby you hope.
You know the way the Christians talk.
yes,
They will say it is well.
It is where.
It is well.
even my friend will say, even the well, it is well. So let's just
Even when
say
we know it is not well, let's just say it is
well
well.
with
It is
Nigeria.
power of positive thinking.
And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this particular episode at 11 p.m. this night. And you can also watch Journalist Hangout on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. God bless Nigeria.